Are participating via Zoom. I'd like to welcome those who are participating via Zoom and those watching the board meeting via live streaming. The link to the meeting is on the district webpage under Board of Education. The streaming will run through the end of the meeting. If the board is on break, the screen will fade to black and the sound will be muted. In the event there is a disruption in the audio portion, I will pause the meeting until it is reestablished. I have Mr. Gibson participating via Zoom. Mr. Gibson, can you hear me?
I can.
Thank you. Mr. Gibson, will you please announce the meeting?
I will. This meeting has been announced in accordance with the Open Meetings Resolution and is a legally constituted meeting of the Los Lunas Schools Board of Education.
Thank you, Mr. Gibson. Mr. Paul Carter, will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
They all see me all right, I hope. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Carter. Brings us to item number 4, approval of the agenda. Mr. Gibson, are there any changes or deletions to the agenda?
There are none this evening, Mr. Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Gibson. I'll stand for a motion regarding the agenda.
I move that we approve the agenda as presented.
I have a motion by Mr. David Vickers to approve the agenda as submitted by Mr. Gibson and the staff. I'll stand for a second.
I'll second that.
I have a second by Mr. Hidon. Mr. Vickers, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Frank Otero, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Stephen Otero, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Hidon, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes. The agenda is approved. That brings us to item number 5, approval to accept the retirement of the superintendent. Let me rephrase that. Approval to accept the retirement of the superintendent. I'll stand for a motion.
Mr. President,
Mr. Hidon,
at this time, I make a motion, we accept the resignation of our superintendent.
retirement. I have a motion by Mr.
Retirement.
I have a motion by Mr. Eloy Hidon to accept the retirement of the superintendent. I will stand for a second.
I'll second that.
I have a second by Mr. Stephen Otero. Mr. Vickers, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Frank Otero, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Stephen Otero, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Hidon, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes. That brings us to item number 6, opening of school. Mr. Gibson, I will turn this over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. As you can see by looking at the Zoom, I have virtually all of the building level administrators, principals and assistant principals, members of the executive staff. I have Mr. Holland, the athletic director. I have folks on Ms. Haney, who runs food services, Mr. Garcia from transportation. So we are fully prepared to answer your questions about the opening of school, but I'd like to begin with some opening comments. This is, again, an unusual year. We are opening remotely. All of our students will be learning on either their iPad or their MacBook. I am pleased to be able to tell you again that every student pre-K through 12 has a device. We have a learning management system, Canvas, which we purchased 2 years ago, and the state just purchased for districts across the state for other school districts this year. Our teachers have been working for 2 weeks under the leadership of their principals and department heads and other instructional leaders to build a program that will be effectively delivering our curriculum to kids. Teaching is a really difficult venture at best, even when we have students in front of us. Teachers have to manage all sorts of things in a classroom. Now we've added one variable that they didn't expect when they started the last school year. we're teaching remotely. We are teaching students electronically. My direction to principals and to instructional staff was we need to deliver our curriculum as effectively as we can. For the last 2 weeks, principals and their teachers have been working in teams to build lessons and activities that will, as closely as possible, mirror what students might get in the classroom. Obviously, the variable is that students are remote, while teachers may be able to see them if they're on a Zoom. It's not like having a group of 25 or 30 kids in front of you. It is a different kind of teaching and a different kind of learning. In talking to principals about the work that they've done, they have encouraged teachers to work in teams so that they can maximize the delivery of instruction. So for instance, while one teacher might be delivering the opening of a lesson, another teacher on that grade level or instructional team might be looking at the lessons that are assigned to students, the work that they're doing, supervising them in small groups of instruction. It is a very different kind of mode for delivering instruction, but I'm very confident that we're getting it right, that as we do it, we'll get better at it. We have tried to link all of our curriculum to our learning management system. We've been, for the most part, successful. We still have some bugs to work out, but our teachers are ready to deliver the curriculum, and I hope our students are ready to learn. PED, the Public Education Department, has really defined for us what we need to do. We need to have as complete a school day as we can. Students need to be instructed in their grade level curriculum. We are required to take attendance every day, which will be in and of itself a challenge. We are required to grade students. We're required to assess their learning. So if you think about all the things that a teacher does in front of a classroom of 25 kids, we now have to do it remotely. I think the 2 weeks of planning have been a real blessing. We start next Monday. We have, in addition, put in place the safety precautions that are required by the governor and by the Public Education Department. Every individual who enters our school will have their temperature taken. They will be required to wear masks. They will be required to socially distance. Our teachers are making various decisions about that. Some are choosing to teach in their classroom, and some are teaching to teach from home remotely. Either way is fine with us. We were going to ask teachers to come to school 1 day a week, but the Secretary of Education suggested that as much as we can do remotely, we'll do. I know in visiting schools this week, teachers have been there in their classrooms, sometimes to gather the learning materials that they need, sometimes to plan with their colleagues, sometimes to just get ready to look at the list of students that they have. We've asked schools to contact every student on their class list this week, and to my knowledge, anybody that we could contact, we have contacted. We've invited students to come back to school. We're hoping that they will come. So far, our enrollment is not what it was previous years, but it's not as bad as it might have been. So I'd like to begin this discussion by playing a video for you. This is a video of our principals and executive staff welcoming students back to the Los Lunas schools. So Susan, if you would throw that video up, we can begin with that hopefully inspiring video.
You got it.
On behalf of the executive staff of the Los Lunas schools, I would like to welcome all of our staff, students, and family to the 2021 school year.
We're all in this together.
Although things will be different as school begins this fall, we will be there for each other and help our friends stand tall. Science, math, history, and even ELA, all those subjects are coming your way. Jaguar students, we happily welcome you back. Now it's time to work together to keep us all on track. Welcome back and go Jags.
Welcome to the start of a new school year. We've been getting things ready just for you. The hallways are ready. Your classrooms are ready.
And Purge families, are you ready?
Hello, my name's Lawrence Sosa, principal of Los Lunas Middle School. We're looking forward to having you back. Everyone had a safe summer. We look forward to having you come, whether it's online or you're coming back physical. We're looking forward to a great year.
It's Mr. Hayes here, one of the assistant principals. Like Mr. Sosa said, we're so excited to have you guys return, whether it's online or you're here on campus. We look forward to seeing you.
Hi everyone, I'm Mrs. Oshiro. Our 8th graders, we missed you last year. We're so excited you're coming back. And our new 7th graders, welcome to Los Lunas Middle School. We're going to make this the best year.
Hello, Valencia Elementary. Your classrooms are ready, your teachers and staff are ready, and Miss Chavez and I are ready for you.
We have great instruction and remote learning, so come on back. We can't wait to see our Jaguars.
Swinging into the new school year. Excited to learn and explore new horizons. AGE can't wait to see you.
Welcome back, students from Tomei and World's Best Elementary. We missed you, and we are so excited to get the new school year kicked off and seeing you here. Looking forward to an awesome year of learning, and we'll see you soon.
Welcome back, Sundance students. We're really excited to see each and every one of you.
We're excited to welcome you back to our beautiful campus.
We would like to welcome you to Desert View Elementary. I am Deidre Martinez Munoz, and I am honored and privileged to serve as your principal. I am so delighted that you are part of our amazing learning community. I welcome and value your positive energy and dedication to excellence in education. I look forward to partnering with you and your children.
Hi, RGE family. That's your principal, Catherine Campbell.
And Assistant Principal Regina Cedillos.
Welcoming you back to another school year here at RGE.
We hope you are all safe and we miss you all so much.
We can't wait to see you walk through these doors on the first day back.
Hey, Bosque Farms Elementary Jaguars, Miss Matthews here. I just want to let you know that I've missed you. I think about you all the time. And I hope that we can start school with you again pretty soon in whatever form that may take. I encourage you to come on back, keep learning, keep trying to be the best here at Bosque Farms Elementary, and stick with us. We can get through this. We can get through anything because we're the Jaguars.
Hello, Peralta Elementary families. I am Monica Rayo, the proud principal at Peralta Elementary. Our whole staff is eager to welcome you back to our small community school. We cannot wait to see your smiling faces and hear your voices back in our halls. Our elementary is to promote student learning in a safe environment. Together, we will lay a foundation that ensures a lifetime of learning. Welcome to Peralta Elementary.
Welcome back, Valencia High School.
Hey, LLE students. Hey, right now, our patio is empty, our playground is empty, but soon you're going to be back, and we can't wait for you to get back to us. We miss you and look forward to seeing you soon.
Hey, Los Lunas High School. Welcome back to the 2020-21 school year.
We're looking forward to seeing you all.
Get your MacBooks all charged up. Let's get ready for high levels of e-learning for all students. Go Tigers!
Thank you, Susan. Thank you, principals. We filmed some of that, not knowing whether we were coming back hybrid or remote. but obviously we're coming back remote. So as I said, I think that we've had a good 2 weeks of planning. We have some issues that we still need to address with technology and making sure that all kids are connected to the school, but I feel good about where we are. We've put some safe practices in place. So we will be more than happy. I asked virtually everybody who has had a leadership role in this to be here tonight to answer any questions you might have. So we are more than ready to talk to you in detail about what you might be concerned about or want to know about.
Thank you, Mr. Gibson. Board members?
Dave Vickers here. I just want to say to the central office personnel, all of the school level administrators, all of the teachers that have worked so hard over the last 2 months, working to create this plan that nobody's ever done before. I think it's just an awesome effort, and you're probably all a little nervous about how it'll all come out, but the effort's there, and you have just shown outstanding leadership and quality of work, and we're behind you all the way. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vickers. Board members?
Steve Otero here.
Mr. Otero?
That was a really nice presentation. I'm sure a lot of people are excited about getting back, and I'm sure there's a lot of anxiety as well. I'm sure it's going to be a challenge. We know it's going to be a challenge. I have a few housekeeping questions, I guess, in reference to how are things going to be done, because Mr. Gibson, you had said that you would place the questions that I sent you on the website, which never happened. So I guess now I can ask these questions. My questions is how are we handling our lunches to our kids?
We're handling them in the same way that we did in the spring. So we're having 5 different sites where food will be available to families. We had talked about the possibility of delivering lunches, and we may still do that using our bus drivers and other personnel. But right now we have 5 grab and go sites. And I hope I can get these right. Los Lunas High School, Los Lunas Elementary, Bosque Farms, Ann Parish. Claire, what am I forgetting?
Valencia Middle School.
Valencia Middle, thank you. So it is the same situation, grab and go. We are feeding all of those students who are eligible for breakfast and lunch.
So how, I think I noticed on the website that there was going to be a $7 cost that would be given their breakfast and lunch together per day.
Say that again?
I thought I read in the website that there's going to be a $7 fee for those that don't have free or reduced that will include breakfast and lunch.
That's correct.
Mr. Gibson, I just want to clarify. So the $7.50 is for siblings who are not enrolled in the Los Lunas schools. So those are for people who are not enrolled in the schools. But otherwise, if we have to end up charging kids, it'll be the regular rate that we normally charge for breakfast and lunch. Actually, breakfast is free, so it's just for lunch.
For all students?
The free breakfast. Lunch is free for the schools that already participate in the community eligibility program. And the $7.50 is for siblings or students who do not attend Los Lunas schools.
So maybe I'm just not getting it. How about those that aren't free and reduced?
They will be paying for their lunch.
How much is that going to cost them?
I believe it's $1.50 at the elementary and $2 at the high school. I'll have to double check that, but that's the normal paid amount for what lunch normally costs during the normal school year.
Okay, so Mr. Gibson, are we gonna be using any of the CARES funding for, try to make it a little bit more convenient for our kids to get their lunches? Because if parents are stay at home and you have staff members that are teaching, they can't leave their house to go take these lunches. I guess the next question that would roll in is, what is going to be the role of our bus drivers once we start school on the 18th or the 17th? I'm sorry.
Mark, Mark Garcia, are you on? I'm not sure if he is. Brian, you want to handle that one?
Mr. Gibson, I am here. This is
Oh,
Mark.
you are there, Mark. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. What was the question?
What are the bus drivers going to be doing when school starts?
Well, as things stand right now, we are taking this opportunity to make sure that our drivers are proficient in all the different policies that have been in place now with COVID, where we are reviewing district safety policies with them regarding employee health screening, the importance of masks, social distancing, making sure that everybody is square on hand washing, and all the different things that we can do to make sure that we prevent the spread. We are planning on continuing those types of things to review district policies, to provide some refresher training for our bus drivers, to help them maintain their CDL and make sure that we are reviewing things like defensive driving, student management, bus railroad crossings, bus stop procedures, things of those natures. We want to make sure that we are making sure all of our employees are familiar with providing a good pre-trip, a good brake check in accordance with all the CDL rules that are associated with them driving these buses. We want to make sure that we're reviewing all of the safety policies with respect to cell phone usage, drug testing, those types of things. There's been quite a few changes to the drug testing policy for DOT drivers. So we're trying to bring everybody up to speed to make sure that they're on the clearinghouse for that and that we can track all that as appropriate. And again, we're also following the Safe Schools modules that are put forth. There's a couple new ones on there for the COVID stuff, specifically to the COVID thing. So we're also covering that stuff with them. So some of the ideas that we have for the future are, we do have those 15 new Khajiit Wi-Fi hotspots that are available. I'm working with Mike Good to get those installed in the buses so that we can then be prepared to put those in areas that need additional coverage for Wi-Fi. And as you mentioned, sir, we're also available to help with food services in any way that you see appropriate, and we're ready to go with that.
Yeah, my concern is not that, I mean, I definitely want to make sure that everyone continues to get paid, but yet I know there's been questions that have come to me from bus drivers that they really don't know what they're going to do yet. Has this been, memos been sent out to them as to what their procedures are going to be from the transportation department?
Mr. Otero, we have not sent out a memo with respect to that, but we are meeting with all of our drivers and having those discussions currently. We are breaking them into small groups, maintaining manageable 5 people so that we can maintain our safe distancing, and having those discussions as we speak, but along with all the other things that I just discussed. So the contracts for the bus drivers just took effect on Wednesday last week. We've been working through some issues with those to make sure everything is good to go and that all of the policies are ready to go on our end as far as bringing them in safely to complete the health screenings. So yes, we are covering that stuff as we speak, and we're fortunate now that we don't, at least on our side, that we can take the time to make sure that all of the employees are informed and they know all of this stuff before we have any students that are actually riding the bus, again, to help us maintain some safety. So we are sharing that information currently.
Thank you. So I just like to kind of hear from all departments what's going to be happening with our staff during this remote learning from our, what's going to be happening with our security that would be on site. I'm sure that our SROs are going to be some patrolling our school sites and doing concerning security and safety out there. But, and then we also have, I know that you're preparing, but not every school has their cafeteria workers working at every cafeteria. I guess you only have 5 sites, as you said. So,
Well, we're only serving from 5 sites. We'll be preparing at more than that.
and how are you transporting the food from, are you gonna transport the food to the other 5 sites? How are you doing that? Are you using the bus drivers? From the other school sites that you're preparing?
I understand your question. Claire?
Yeah, the sites that are going to be preparing food, they will be delivered. The student nutrition department has vehicles and trucks and vehicles necessary to transport to the sites that are going to be feeding, that the food is going to be distributed from.
So you're saying that every school is gonna run their cafeterias?
All of the staff are reporting to their sites, and then Angela and Jamie are working out either a rotation program, or if extra help is needed at other cafeterias, then that's being communicated through the Angela and Jamie, the supervisors and director of student nutrition.
Okay, I just have concerns about those that don't have the means to go and pick up the food. You know, in the summertime, it might be a whole different story, but now during the school, you're gonna feed all students, or we hope to feed all students. You know, that's just a concern to me, hoping that maybe we can utilize our bus drivers and even our SROs to deliver food to areas that are having hard times. I would hope that administration is going to be following up to see if there's possibilities that can help them with that food. And I would think that, I guess, Mr. Gibson, that the CARES funding would be applied to that?
I don't believe we dedicated any money in the CARES funding for bus drivers, we did some for the necessary PPE equipment for bus drivers and food services, but we didn't dedicate any CARES money to transporting food. We already employ our bus drivers. If we decided that that was a good way to get food into the community, we could certainly do that. I think the problem is logistics. It's a complicated thing to do.
Okay, so I've got a bunch of questions, so just bear with me. I know that our staff are really, we got to remember that they are the ones that are going to go through some really trying times. So we got to take them into consideration to see how we're going to help them be successful and make it comfortable for them. So I guess the question on this part, I understand, and I'm not too versed on this, but this is by some teachers calling or sending me emails, that the Canvas situation, the Canvas teaching, some are having problems with it. Do you have additional staff in technology to help them at these school sites for those that are having problems with this Canvas? And follow-up question, if they really can't get it, can they go and use the Zoom process that they're using when we first started school on the remote when the pandemic hit us? Have you guys given them that option?
Well, Canvas is a new program for K through 6 folks. It's something we've been using in 7 through 12 for a couple of years. There were a whole series of training sessions last week with Canvas staff, with Canvas personnel. We have people in the district who are expert at using it. We will provide the support at the building or the district level to any of those teachers that need it. When you use a piece of software like this for the first time as a learning management system, when you're loading lessons, you're loading activities, you're trying to communicate with kids and their family, there's going to be a learning curve. There's no question, but I think we've provided the initial training. We will provide the ongoing training that's necessary. We have people on our staff that are really expert at it because they've been using it for a while. While there may be initial issues and concerns, I don't think those will be long lasting. It's the kind of thing that teachers have been using before, maybe not Canvas, but they've been using Seesaw or Google Classroom. I think teachers will do just fine with it. Susan, you want to add anything? Because I know you've organized a lot of this training.
Mr. Board President, members of the board, Mr. Gibson, Mr. Otero. Yes, our teachers were trained on Friday on pre-K to use Canvas. They are working through that. I know that there was half-day training. We are continuing the support. We are also working with our public education department. They also adopted Canvas as a statewide learning management system. So it is being used throughout the state. And PED is also offering support for teachers.
It might be interesting to hear from a couple of principals who are closer to the actual use of Canvas at the classroom level. So any of you that would like jump in and respond to Mr. Otero's question?
Mr. Gibson?
Yes, go ahead, Catherine.
President Board Smith, board members. At our school, we did have the training Friday afternoon. Some of our teachers have struggled with it. However, they're working together. I'd like to thank the secondary group. Secondary teachers have been coming and offering their support since they are familiar with it and it's not a big scary monster to them. They've offered support, so our teachers are getting it and are loading it. It's not easy to get accustomed to a new system. Teachers are creatures of habit. We all like the same thing all the time, but they are using it. Another thing, the Zoom is part of the instruction, but the Canvas is where they have all of the information. And it works really well because older siblings can help the other siblings sign on. So that was something, one of the reasons we chose it as an elementary group.
Is it, I have heard that there are some people struggling with this, and I know their concerns. Can they just, until they get used to it, can they go into Zoom? My question was to you earlier, are you going to allow them to?
Well, Zoom is part of Canvas. Using Zoom is built into the Canvas management system.
Yeah, I understand that, but are you going to allow them to do their Zoom and that until they get used to the Canvas part? I know you're saying it's part of it, but it's not strictly Zoom.
The teachers will be delivering lessons and activities on Zoom and managing the other parts of instruction through Canvas.
Right. And they're still going to be able to access it through that.
Yeah,
and have you guys had any feedback from parents yet in reference to training them on how they're going to be able to access this through their teachers? Or are the teachers going to be teaching them that starting in 6 days?
Susan, I know you've been working on this.
Yes, Mr. President, members of the board, Mr. Gibson, Mr. Otero, we did send out to all the principals yesterday a remote learning parent guide that was prepared by our digital learning coaches. So it was pretty detailed on anything from how to turn on your device all the way to how to help your student log on to Canvas. So that was sent out to all the teachers yesterday via their principals, their site administrators. We have already received feedback that it's been very helpful. We're already also being asked if we can get the documents translated into Spanish. So we will be working on that as well. And parents can access those learning guides at any time. They're not on a set schedule, so it does work around their family schedule.
And do you guys have a central, like a hotline that they can call to ask for assistance? Other than, I'm sure their technology department, Mr. Gooden, his staff are overwhelmed. I can see it because they're working Saturdays, Sundays. I mean, I applaud them for going out of their way and taking the care to do what has to be done to make sure that our district is ready for that. My question is, so they don't be bothering, and I'm not saying it's a bother, so they don't take up the time of Mr. Good and his staff. Do you have a central where people can call and try to get help?
Would you like me to answer that, Mr. Gibson?
Yeah, go ahead, and then I'll take a shot at it too, Susan.
Okay. So, Mr. President, members of the board, Mr. Gibson, Mr. Otero, our technology does have a help desk, so they are able to support those troubleshooting calls. I know our technology, our IT department is working really hard to get those devices out. And they are also supporting parents when those devices are having issues at their homes. I was in the technology department today, and some of our ITs were supporting parents with some issues. So they're supporting not only our staff, they're supporting our community as well. And they manage that with ease. I am so amazed with how well they're handling this rollout. They've prepared thousands of iPads in a short amount of time, and they're able to support our teachers and our parents. Mr. Gibson?
Thank you. I don't think this is going to be totally without issues. I didn't mean to give you that impression if I did. It's a new learning management system for elementary teachers. We are attempting to deliver our curriculum as effectively as we can using these technology tools. The principals, teachers, our digital learning coaches, everyone is available to help. What the technology department is mostly supporting is helping people to use the technology, not necessarily to use the software that we're using. There will be issues, there will be questions, but we will answer them and we will do it effectively.
And I realize that, and I know you guys are working very, very hard. My concern is that our staff members might feel a little bit intimidated and they don't want to really bother anybody. They don't want to say, I don't know. I think it would be nice to have like a help. I know what the help desk is. The help desk is the work order process you go through to ask for assistance in technology. But I think that would be overwhelming to our, again, Mr. Good and his staff to do that. And it'd be nice to set up a crew that can just try to go and help people. I don't know. You know, these questions are not coming from me. They're coming from our teachers because I'm not at the school every day. So I can only do what I can do is represent our community. And that's exactly where these questions are coming from. So I do appreciate it, Mr. Gibson. By no means am I trying to be a pain in the butt with this. I'm just trying to get the answers for those that are afraid to go ask these questions. And they are, believe me, people are afraid.
No one should be afraid. No one should be afraid to ask questions.
Well, they shouldn't be, but they are. They are.
That I don't understand. We're all here to work. Our theme for the year is to work together. People that have questions, people that have concerns, people that need more training, if they let their principal know, if they work with their teaching team, because I'm pretty sure on every teaching team, every grade level team, every content team, there's someone who has that expertise. If someone lets us know that their comfort level isn't improving, that they need some special training, we'll arrange that. You know, it's a new way to teach and it's a new way to learn. And it will have some trials and tribulations, but we're all in this together. We're working to make this work.
And we're here as board members to try to support whatever we can to make sure that we can help out in any which way we can. There's so many questions that I've been sent that I really feel it's necessary that I got to ask them. There's a comment made that our central office staff aren't adhering to the face mask guidelines. Is that, can you elaborate on that, Mr. Gibson?
Well, if anybody's an offender, it's probably me. I wear my mask going into the office and leaving the office. Sometimes when I'm walking down the hall to talk to somebody, I forget to put my mask on. But in general, mask wearing, safety precautions, social distancing is the norm here in the central office. This morning, I had a meeting with the curriculum department. We held the meeting in the boardroom. We've got tables set up in a huge square in the boardroom. We were social distanced, wore our masks into the meeting, but not necessarily in the meeting. Same thing was true for the cabinet meeting I had today. We met in the same configuration. I don't see the central office as not following the guidelines that we set for everybody else. But if someone's telling you that, I'd like to think they're mistaken.
And I can't say that it's me because I haven't walked in there. I just had probably about 3 people tell me that we don't, even our principals aren't wearing their masks. So I don't know, and I'm just bringing this to your attention, Mr. Gibson. I'm not saying no, they're not, because I can't say they are or they're not. And I appreciate your answer on that one. Now, my next is,
our norm is when people enter the building, their temperature is taken, they wear a mask when they are in their classroom, or when they're working with their team. As long as they're socially distancing, continuing to wear the mask is optional. I know we have some people here in the central office that wear their mask at all times. Others take them off when we're in a meeting and we're socially distanced. But I don't think that our norms, our precautions are unsafe.
No, I don't think so either. I think everybody's going the route they do, but those that are really, really cautious are those that have the fear of walking into a place where people aren't wearing their masks. That's just a concern that's come to me. Now I'm going to jump into something else. The electronic devices, devices. I know that when Superintendent Sanders, when this first hit us, she reported like a month later that maybe we had 80 students that didn't have their devices at that time. Can you say right now that every student has a device? Every student?
Every student that has come to their school to pick it up has a device. I was in some schools today and there were laptops or iPads waiting to be picked up. So if the student has come to the school as they've been invited, as they've been scheduled, yes, every student has a device.
Okay, based on your answer, I'm going to rephrase my question. Is there a device for every student in our district? Okay. And how about our hotspots? Mr. Garcia from Transportation said that they were going to be assisting with hotspots. Have you guys identified those hotspots?
We have. If I can find the list on my desk, here it is. So we have expanded Wi-Fi access on 4 campuses: Los Salinas High School, Century, Valencia High School, and the TRC. We have HughesNet satellite hotspots available at Fire Station 4 in Meadow Lake, Fire Station 12 in Laguna, and at the Isleta Library. We also have Kajits, which are portable hotspots on buses, and we'll be moving those out into the community as well. So we've identified the hotspots. We have a one-pager for families to know where to go and how to access it if they don't have broadband at home.
Okay, so now I've got another question. I know that normally school districts do not submit their student count till 40 days, and I know we're in a different circumstance right now. Do you guys have any idea of how much our enrollment has dropped percentage-wise, district-wide?
I have some numbers. I'm not really comfortable right now sharing those numbers since we're still registering students. I would say that certainly our enrollment is going to be down. That's true of districts across the state. We don't have a clear definition yet from PED about how they're actually going to count enrollment. Generally it's been 20 days, 40 days, 80 days, 120. I don't know if that's going to be the case this year. I can tell you that superintendents and business people, financial people in all districts are worried about that. So we're hoping that there will be some latitude there so that if students leave us to go to some other learning format, perhaps a commercial one, that when we're able to reopen, they'll come back to us and they will count on both this year's enrollment and next year's enrollment. We are as concerned about next year because our projected budget for the 21-22 school year will be based on enrollment during this school year. So it's looking forward budgeting. So we know we're down. Some schools are down more than others, but I'd be more comfortable giving you a real number next week at the board meeting when we actually have enrollment figures.
That'll be good. That'll be good. So another question I have is our physical therapists, are they going to be doing any type of physical or, all our therapists that are out there? I know we contract with some therapists and I know that they're conducting their therapy via Zoom or via, remote. Is that the same expectation we have of our?
Pete, let me answer first, and then Susan can talk about specifics since that's her department. We've been told by the public education department that delivering services is non-negotiable. We have to update IEPs. We have to provide all of the services that are required on any student's IEP, whether that be speech and language therapy, physical therapy, occupational therapy, whatever the services are. So our ancillary staff, our therapists, whether they're employed by the district or are a contract employee, they're expected to deliver the services. So Susan, do you want to elaborate on that? I know we've had a lot of discussion about it.
Mr. President, members of the board, Mr. Gibson, Mr. Otero, they will be providing those services teletherapy while we are in this remote environment. We do have to follow the guidelines per PED and IDEA, the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. There has been no waiver from IDEA on following that law. The services will be provided remotely, similar to education services.
Okay. So one more, Mr. Gibson, another question. Hopefully I'm winding down here. So you stated earlier that teachers could teach from the classroom or from home. Originally, you were going to ask them to show up one day per week, but you've changed that that tone. How about our secretaries that are in their offices? I know that you've brought up that it's not required to have, or they don't. Let me see. I can't say it word for word. It's plexiglass is not really a requirement, but I'm sure that staff members have asked you for plexiglass. Are you trying to accommodate and accommodate their needs or their requests? Or are you just telling them the same thing? Well, we're not required to give you plexiglass.
So the advice that we've had from the Department of Health, which is reinforced by our charge nurse, Jackie Kelly Romero, is that a mask and a face shield has the same value as plexiglass. We are concerned about installing plexiglass. It is a bit of a fire hazard, and we've been told that it is not a recommended application in schools. So we have plenty of masks, we have plenty of face shields. In regard to the clerical staff, we are asking our clerical staff to be in the schools to provide contact and communication with the community. If there's an individual that feels they have an underlying condition that would mean that they had to stay home, we have the paperwork and forms that are necessary to be filled out. But we are expecting our clerical staff to be at their schools and at their sites.
Okay, just to clarify on that, on the plexiglass, you are 100% correct. It's not recommended to have plexiglass, not only in schools, any building, any fire marshal, they don't like plexiglass because when they do the fire inspections, and if there's a fire, what happens is that plexiglass mounts onto the firemen, and that's a hazard for those that are fighting the fire. But again, as we continue to tell ourselves, and even you're saying we're at a different time right now, this is a whole new norm. And I'm sure that the fire marshals aren't going to say, no, you cannot put plexiglass. If that was the case, no businesses would have plexiglass. I'm just saying, even though it's the recommendation of the powers to be, I think our district should go that extra mile and spend that few extra dollars to make our staff comfortable. I understand what you're saying, Mr. Gibson. I understand 100%. I'm just telling you again, I'm just repeating what our staff members are calling and telling us. So I don't think, I mean, if it costs you $100 in a plexiglass for one school, at every school site that you have a secretary, I'm sure not all of them want them, but I think we should try to accommodate them. I don't think that's an unreasonable, if you're going to have them work at the office, I think we should try to really make them comfortable. That's just the statement that I have. I'm not telling you by no means, as I'm been accused in the past that I'm trying to micromanage. I'm just talking on behalf of the staff members that have concerns. That closes it for my questions. And I know I took up a lot of time, but I'm the one that requested this special meeting because I knew I'd have a lot of questions. And last question, Mr. Gibson, do you ever plan on having the frequently asked questions on the website as you can?
The reason I didn't put those up, Mr. Otero, is they were all about the hybrid schedule. And when the governor said you're going remote, I looked at those questions, I looked at them carefully. Most of them weren't germane to what we're doing now. If you have another set of questions about remote learning, send them on and I'll put them up.
I think we should still address the hybrid when the time comes, because evidently
we will when the time comes.
I don't think we should wait, and when the hybrid comes in, these are the questions asked. These are how we'll approach it.
Okay. I didn't want to confuse people, Mr. Otero.
Okay, thank you. Mr. President, At this point, I'm done, but I still reserve the right to ask other questions.
Thank you, Mr. Otero. Board members?
Mr. President.
Mr. Frank Otero.
I'm not going to eat you all up with questions. I'm here tonight to support all of you that are working hard under these difficult situations. You know, I've over the summer now, we've had several meetings, and I've listened to a lot of the concerns, and we've discussed a lot of the concerns, and the concerns are still, they're still moving. I mean, we're still, the situations change daily, and we're getting ready to start school, and Valencia County has, you know, a few numbers of people as far as people that are affected by the COVID. It's ticking up here in our county right now, and so we need to, like I said last time, we need to watch. We really need to keep an eye on that. So, you know, this is all a delicate balance. You know, it's all a delicate balance between, you know, the students, the parents. I mean, it's the teachers, and many of you teachers are also parents, and so this has never been done, and we're going to do the best we can. And you know, as far as the electronic devices, we were in a good position, and I feel like, you know, when they say every student has a electronic device, I feel confident about that. So, you know, it's just going to be trying to conduct daily business, and then you've got bandwidth and other things to consider. So, you know, I just want to demonstrate my support to everyone here, and this is not really a time for us to get caught up in our disagreements. It's a time for us to discuss and smooth things out, and I would expect that with some time that you know, some people's concerns will be addressed on you know, slowly, baby steps. I've said that in the past, and but you know, we're here to the health and safety of all of you is in the top of my mind, but we also have to educate our kids, and we also have to feed our communities, and you know, it all feeds into each other. So I'm not going to take up any more time. I just want to say I'm here, and I'm your advocate, and I'm going to keep advocating for you. And I might not get some of those phone calls, but you know, I know about them, and you know, I deal with what matters are serious. So thank you all, and thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Otero. We're, as we've said, working hard.
Thank you, Mr. Otero. Mr. Hidon.
Mr. President, members of the board, I'm going to echo a little bit what Frank had, Mr. Board Member Frank Otero had to say. That this is new to us. I'm here to support everybody. I'm getting calls, I'm getting emails, and I'm here to ask some of these questions. I don't have a bunch of them. I have a couple. Stephen Otero asked some of them. I met with Mr. Gibson today at 3 o'clock, and I addressed some of those concerns with him, and I feel comfortable he will get those ones answered. But you mentioned hotspots. Let me go back. Sometime, I want to say it was in July, end of June, July, we had a meeting, and we were asked to approve $1.58 million for the CARES Act.
Yes.
And 30% of it was for educational technology.
Yep, that's true.
$237,000 was professional development on accessing curriculum development and remote learning. $250,000 was going to be a loan just for PPE. $230,000 was for ancillary services, nutrition, transportation, and $220,000 was for additional staffing. So I know we have some money there. One of the questions I have, and I'm going to start with this one, the hotspots. Can you give me an example of how those hotspots are going to work?
I can, but if Mike Good is on, he's much more capable than I am of answering that question.
Okay.
So Mike, are you on?
Mr. Gibson, Mr. Good is not on the call.
Okay.
Yes, no.
So our hotspots are located at those sites that I told you, Los Lunas High School, Century, Valencia, et cetera. You need to be within range of the Wi-Fi hotspots. And again, Mike is much better at this than I am. I would say somewhere in the range of 50 yards. So if you drive to one of those locations, if you don't have broadband at home, you can access the hotspot. And the network name is LLS hotspot, and the password is student Wi-Fi. So you would log on and you could do your lessons and activities, use Canvas from those sites. So they're located in the parts of the community where we think people might have difficulty accessing. As I said, we'll also have some on buses. We'll probably move those out soon when we figure out what are the dead spots, if you will, the places where we need to augment those hotspots. But we have the Hughes Net Satellite hotspots that we bought recently with CARES money are much more powerful than the ones that we had. But again, you're going to need to be in the proximity. If you think about your modem at home, and if you walk out into your patio or your backyard, you run out of range after a while. These are much more powerful than that, but they still will only service a particular area.
Mr. President, Mr. Gibson, I guess when I'm asking for an example, are we going to have it 8 o'clock in the morning till 3 in the afternoon?
They're located there permanently. It's whenever you want to go. So those hotspots are up and running in the same way. If you went into one of our schools, you would be able to access the internet.
Okay. If you could please post that on our site, that would be helpful.
Okay. I think it, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was posted today, but I'll double check and make sure.
And I think I heard it from Mr. Garcia, and I didn't hear the date. When will they be installed, and when will that be completed?
When will what be installed?
When will the modems in the buses or the hotspots in the buses, when will that project be completed?
Some were already installed. Mark, how many are we actually have installed? I'm not sure how to answer that.
Mr. Gibson, we currently have, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Mr. Gibson, we currently have 5 installed, and the rest are being configured right now with Mike and technology. And I anticipate that those will be completed this week so that we can begin the installation process this week.
Thank you.
So we can comfortably say that by August 17th, they will be ready to roll.
I'm not sure I could say August 17th, but I can say they will be installed and ready to go in August as quickly as we can get them up and running.
Okay. Mr. Stephen Otero brought up a question on plexiglass, and I know it's the recommendation from PED, I guess, not to use it, but when this whole thing started in March, there were directions and there were directives given, and some of those were wrong directives. And I would like, I'm getting calls, I'm getting requests just to have some type of barrier. If it's plexiglass, so be it. If it's a piece of glass, that's fine. If it's a shower curtain, that's great. Just we can have barriers there. Just because a state agency failed us before, let's not fail now. I mean, I want to see something happen. And I know PED's recommendation, they don't need it, but common sense seems like it would just, we need to do something. Mr. Gibson, your high-risk employees that have health issues, how have we reached out to them, or how are we working with them, or how is our personnel, how is that going?
So we put out information to staff members about how they would identify themselves as at risk or have a family member who's at risk, we cleared the paperwork according to the legislation that would allow them to stay home. It is available in the personnel office. It needs to only be filled out there. We don't want people providing medical information at a school site. It needs to come through the personnel office. Brian, you've been, and your staff, and Alicia and Andrew have been managing this. We've let folks know how to do it. We have, at last count, I think we had over 20 people that had provided us with the paperwork. Brian, is there anything else you want to add?
No, sir. I think that you've covered it as far as our documents for those people that qualify. They were both vetted through legal counsel and also with the collaboration of our charge nurse to make sure that we meet the standard for those people that are going to self-identify. And so if anyone communicates to their supervisor or they want to contact us directly, we do have the paperwork that's in place. And you're right, and as of today, we've had 23 people that have basically had communicated or expressed concern, and we're working with those folks, or they will be getting their paperwork in place. But we do have these things in place. The personnel office will be the agency that'll take all these. So we're ready and we're prepared to address people's concerns and to kind of guide them in this process.
Okay. In June or July, I'm sorry, Mr. Gibson, I don't remember that meeting we had. I remember the meeting, I don't remember the date. You mentioned $230,000 was going to go to ancillary services, nutrition, and transportation. How is that broke down, that $230,000? What are you guys, what are you focusing that on?
I don't know that I could tell you that exactly. What we've learned recently is that CARES Act money is actually melded into our SEG. So it wasn't in addition to the SEG, it is part of the SEG. So it's coming to us directly from the federal government, and it's not going through the state, but it is as an offset for the money that we're getting to support us from the state. So that budget was directed at all of those things that we identified. Some of it has been spent. The largest part that's been spent has been on technology to get a device in every student's hand. I'm not sure that I could say that we've spent it all, but because it's been melded into our operating budget, I would really have to look at how we could break it out for you. That budget was designed to indicate to PED and to the officials that are managing the CARES Act how we're going to spend that money. I can tell you for sure we haven't spent all of it. The biggest chunk of it that we've spent has been on making sure we have devices for every student, the hotspots, things like that. As far as other services, some of that money is probably still available. The issue is that it's an offset to our budget, and we're not going to get nearly as much money from PED after the special session. So you'll be hearing much more about budget at the board meeting because you're going to have to do a new one based on the new money we're going to get from the legislative session.
Okay, one last question that I have, and I know we're going to be remote learning right now. I see us in the future going to a hybrid, and I can even see us going back and forth. But one of the questions I had last meeting was our protocols. Has that been addressed, or has there been any plans, or has any of the principals created a plan?
Our protocols have been clearly defined by our charge nurse, Jackie Romero. I have a couple of handouts in front of me. I'll hold one up. You probably can't see it, but this is the CDC guidelines for entry into our buildings, for occupancy guidelines. We have very clear protocols on what will happen if we have an active case in one of our schools isolating, what we would need to do for tracing, what we would need to do for closing down a section of a building if that was necessary. The primary thing, Mr. Hiron, is that if we have an active case, we need to immediately notify the hotline of the Department of Health, and they will send out, or tell us what to do with a rapid response team. So we're well prepared, we're well positioned for that. We have the protocols in place, we have the guidelines posted. We know what we're supposed to do to keep our people safe, and we know what to do if we have an active case.
Okay, yeah, Mr. Gibson, I did see the document from Ms. Romero, the school nurse, and it was a great document. It gave bubbles, and it showed exactly what staff is supposed to do. I guess I wasn't clear on my question. Prior to getting to those bubbles and issuing that to Ms. Romero, do we have anything in place from our front line, our the people that are going to be in the front lines, our custodians, our principals, our teachers, our staff? That was my question. I understand. I seen Ms. Romero's bubble chart, and it was great. But I guess my question is, before it gets to her, that was my only question. You don't need to answer that.
No, I will answer that. At every school, the person in charge, if there is an active case, is the charge nurse. From that point, if we need to move kids, if we need to, and we won't have students in school, of course, right now, but if we need to isolate staff, we've had some incidents of COVID over the summer, nothing horribly serious, but we've asked some people to socially isolate who might have come in contact with someone who has an active case. We haven't had to do a quarantine yet, but if that's the case, then we will. I think we're well prepared. If we had students coming back into school, I would be looking to be much more diligent in laying out exactly what we're doing. But we'll have a limited number of staff. The directions for those staff are have your temperature taken when you come in. We do have a form to fill out that would indicate whether you've been in contact with anybody who's positive, whether you've traveled out of state, any of those circumstances. Everybody has to do that form, use that form every day when they enter the school. And once a week, you have to fill out a longer form, which will let us know if you've been in contact with someone, if you've traveled, et cetera. So I think our protocols are good right now. If students were to come back to school in any configuration, I think we would have to think in much more detail. As you know, young people see themselves sometimes as invulnerable. We would need to be sure that we've given clear directions to students on how to enter the building, how to go to a classroom. Right now, we don't have to do that. Right now, we're concerned about the adults, but we do have protocols and they're pretty clearly defined.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Gibson. Thank you, Mr. President. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Hiron.
Thank you, Mr. Hidon.
Mr. President.
Mr. Vickers.
One other thing that I wanted to talk about is we've talked about the staff and all of that stuff, and I really have great confidence in the what the district has set up and the ability of our staff. A couple of teachers I talked to about how remote learning went in the spring, and I was getting the same story, is it was not going well as far as participation. They were telling me there may be only 20% of their students actually came on to the Zoom to do the lesson. And even when they would call a parent right then and there at that time, the parent would go, okay, thanks a lot. And then they didn't ever come on. And so I'm very concerned about the participation level from the parents. And if the students that didn't participate in the spring do the same thing this fall, they're missing an entire school year. And so one thing is, what kind of teeth are we going to put into attendance that these students are to be on these remote learning meetings, or they're counted as absent, and how will we deal with that? And the other is, how do we make sure that the students have learned what they need to learn to be passed on to the next grade? Because we're looking at a situation where large group of students really wouldn't be eligible to go to the next grade because they haven't learned what they should have learned in the current grade. Anybody want to answer that?
I would be happy to. That's a complex question. Let me answer the last part first. We are asking all of our teachers to do whatever they can using our assessment instruments to find out where students are when they enter school this fall. So we're really trying to assess what the learning loss was, and you're very right. There will be learning loss, we know that. So we're asking teachers to begin instruction where it needs to be begun. There will be some students in every class and every grade who participated, whose parents supported them, who helped them. They're just going to be able to pick up where they were. But there will be other students who will be behind. We need to identify those students. All of the principals have built-in intervention time into their school day and into the school week so we can support those students who need help. We realized that there were students who didn't log on. We have kind of a multi-tiered approach to that. We've asked all of our teachers and school staff to contact every family this week before school began, to let them know what we're doing, how to access it, where to get on, the fact that we are delivering our curriculum remotely. So that's the first step, notification that school begins next Monday. Our first level of defense against not getting on will be teachers. Our new Zoom program that we purchased with CARES money allows us much more latitude to look at who's online. Last week I was in a meeting with my staff, and we were able to look at a Zoom meeting going on directed by a consultant from outside the district. We were able to see who was on. We were able to see how long they were on. Now, what we can't tell is, are you really intent on learning? And we'll find that out by doing ongoing assessment. So that's our first levels of reliability and accountability. The second will be that if we find there are students who are not on, we will have our counselors and social workers and other staff contact them directly and basically say what's going on. And we'll do that to give people a chance to log on. The third level will be, we will send our SROs, our student resource officers, our school resource officers, to let those families know they're in violation of the truancy law. Can we do it as effectively as we do with kids not coming to school? We're going to have to practice at this, but if you're not logging on, if you're not participating, you're going to hear from us. If you willfully neglect what the next step is, we're going to have to decide. Do we decide to because there are some teeth now in New Mexico's truancy law. We're going to do all we can to get people to log on voluntarily. If they don't, we'll have to decide what do we do in terms of some sort of sanction.
All right, thank you. What about the, well, I guess you covered the assessment and all of that. So,
yeah.
Okay.
One of the things that I don't think anybody did well last spring, not just in our district, but anywhere, was to continue to carry on with student assessment. That is one of our major goals. Number one, to know where our students are right now when they come back to school, but to have ongoing assessments. Our students will be able, with their devices, to respond to lessons and activities and exercises. I was at a couple of schools today, elementary schools, and the principals indicated to me that when they passed out the iPads, they also passed out paper copies of our literacy and math curriculum. We intend to make students accountable for doing the work that would go on in school, whether it be classwork or homework.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Vickers. Board members? So I have a couple of questions. Most of them have been answered, but one of them was from prior when we first started this. I know that we have some people that logistically can't come pick up the meals, but we also have some people in this district that physically can't pick up the meals. And that was a specific question to me. We're still going to continue to do it the way we were doing it before. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And is there a certain way that they would notify the district, or do we know who those people are?
I'm not sure I can answer that question. That would be a question for Angela and Jamie from Food Services.
Okay,
I know that when we had issues with families that couldn't pick up the meals in the spring, that we tried to deliver a week's worth of food to those families.
Okay.
If there are families that want to contact the Food Services office or even my office and let us know that getting to that food is a problem, we will find out how to deliver the food to them. We use some SROs to do that. As you asked, one of the board members asked earlier, we have some bus drivers who we might be able to send out. We'll figure out a way to do it.
Thank you, Mr. Gibson. And that was, to piggyback on your last statement, I know that we ask a lot of questions, and it's twofold if you ask me. One, we want to know, but two, for all of those people that are listening, maybe they can relay the information. We need to get the information that we're doing here as a district out to the public in any way that we possibly can. So we're going to ask those questions, not specifically just for the people that have asked us to ask those questions, but for everybody listening. So the answers will be out there and you don't have to get the repeated questions. One of the other comments I had is you were talking about the extended Wi-Fi hotspots. Did you mention the email from Mike Good today where in late August, possibly they would be at the fire stations and the Atlanta library?
Yes.
Okay, I have a bunch of notes here, so I'm glad you did that. So I could give kudos to the technology department and the custodial department and the maintenance department and the teachers and the admin department and everybody else. But I think last spring when we were forced into do this, and right now at the beginning of school when we're forced into doing this, I think we're going to be so much better prepared that there's going to be noticeable differences on a great scale. I have to say that I don't believe that any school district in the United States is fully prepared to take on the task that we're going to do right now. But I do believe that we are ready to begin remotely and undoubtedly adapt with our staff as dedicated as they've always been. And to the staff, I want to say it's a pleasure to see all of you. And I ask those watching to notice that through the comments and participation of our staff, we are eagerly waiting for our students to be present in our classrooms. And we're going to work hard to get them back in there in person as soon as it is safe and prudent to do so. But I don't think you will find a more dedicated staff than we have here in Los Lunas Schools. And I ask you to be a part of this with us. We're going to come out on the other end. I don't know when, I don't know what it's going to look like, but we will come out. And if we stick together, we're going to be ahead of the game from where everybody else is going to be. And I ask everybody, the staff, the public, and everybody in our community to stick with us and bear with us, because nobody is more committed to educating children than the people in this Los Lunas School District. I fully believe that. So I want to thank all of you. I had some questions for Mr. Garcia, but they were answered earlier. If there's no other questions, this item was for information only, and there's no action that is needed or warranted. So thank you, Mr. Gibson. Thank you to all your staff. Thank you, board members, for your input and your questions.
Mr. President.
Mr. Stephen Otero.
I have two more questions, just two more, and they're follow-up questions from what were asked earlier. And I think this is a really important question. So, Mr. Gibson, do you have a plan in place for our permanent subs, or for those teachers? Let's say the teacher, for some unknown reason, has to take off a week or two. Is there training for long-term subs, or how are you going to handle that?
So we've asked teachers to teach in teams. So we've asked, for instance, the third grade team at a particular school or the math teachers at a secondary school to work in teams. So our anticipation is when you're teaching remotely, class size becomes less of an issue. Clearly it is an issue. We don't want you teaching 100 kids, but we're not really anticipating the need to have substitutes as long as we can keep teachers working in teams and the other members of a team will pick up for someone who is ill or needs to take some time off. We do have a pool of substitutes. If we think we're going to need those substitute teachers, then we will train them in Canvas and Zoom and other instructional practices. But at this point, we're anticipating that our teamwork will carry us.
So is it fair to say that you still have permanent subs on payroll?
I'm not
I think
sure how to answer that. Brian, do we have permanent subs on payroll right now?
Yes, sir. Now we actually refer to them as contract subs. And these are staff members that are assigned to a particular school that will be there to help with the support of a lesson, whether it be monitoring the chats, helping take attendance for those teachers that will be delivering the actual instruction. So just like this, if we have a team of teachers, there will be one teacher taking the lead for the lesson, and there will be other staff members that will be supporting the lesson, helping to get kids in the chat rooms and breakout rooms and that stuff. So our contract subs will be supporting our staff in that way.
Perfect. Then one more thing, Mr. Gibson. As anything is possible, and in a perfect world, it'd be nice if we're teaching at least 7,000 kids a day, which I doubt that'll happen. But if something to our server, do you have a backup plan? Or something happens to our remotes? Do you have a backup plan?
We have plenty of capacity. I'm not worried about that. As you know, we had some issues at a previous meeting with Zoom. Mike Good came in on his own time and readjusted the firewalls, made some corrections to the system. I can't guarantee that it will never go down because you've been on Zoom meetings before and that's happened. Thunderstorms are particularly bad for our connection and communication, but I really have no questions at all about our capacity, about our servers, about our ability to keep them up and running, to service all of our kids and staff at any given time.
Okay, then you also mentioned to Mr. Giron that you probably won't have all the hotspots in place by the start of school on the 17th.
That's true.
And what is the reason for that?
We had to wait for them to come in. The Hughes hotspots that we ordered just arrived recently, so we haven't had a chance to install them. We were at this point much more concerned with making sure that all of our systems were up and running in our schools. But we'll get them up quickly.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, board members. No more questions?
I just want to make one more comment, Mr. Smith. I sent a letter to the community earlier this week in which I told parents and community residents, please contact me if you have trouble getting an answer to a question. I think that went out yesterday on the system, and I had 4 parents today who emailed me with questions. One of them was one we haven't addressed yet, and that's childcare. We are working together with PED and the Early Childhood Division of PED to talk about ways in which we might be able to expand childcare. We know that families want to go back to work, and some may not be able to because they don't have a relative, a friend, a family member, a neighbor to provide childcare. We sent a survey out, I'll put a survey on our website this week, looking to know how many people have issues with childcare. So if folks would fill that out, we will work with PED, local childcare providers, the Early Childhood Division, and see what we can come up with for solutions. But we do recognize that that's an issue. So please, parents, family members, you've got an email from me, you have my email address. Please send questions to me and we will be glad to get them to the right person.
Mr. Gibson, that letter that you sent out was amazing. It was a great letter.
Thank you.
A lot of compassion, a lot of hope, and a lot of, it was nothing but positive all the way. And I heard from a couple of people saying that, wow, this is really good. So it was a great letter.
Thank you.
Mr. President.
Mr. Giron.
Mr. President, Mr. Gibson, today we met before our finance meeting. There was one question that I brought up, and you answered it, and I know it didn't come up tonight. Between both of us, we missed it, but I'll bring it up right now. My question to you was, we're remote learning now. If we go back and it goes to hybrid, my question to you was, are we going to allow students to stay at remote learning also?
The answer to that is yes. Our hybrid learning plan we worked on, you've seen it, we presented it to the board in an open meeting before. We will just reactivate that. But any family, individual who's concerned about coming back to school for safety reasons, they will just be able to continue with remote learning. We have a group of teachers, as Mr. Baca said, who have opted out because of health conditions or family health conditions of their own. We will use those people to support teaching and learning. We may have to move some things around. And as you asked earlier, how many students do we have coming back? I would say we've got a sizable percentage of our kids returning to our schools, but we will also have the flexibility if we go to a hybrid schedule to use people in a different way. I did say to you, and you asked me that question today, I'm really concerned about going back and forth between systems. I'm really concerned about starting off remote, going back hybrid, having a breakout of COVID and having to go back to remote. I think all of us would prefer knowing what we're going to do for a while. I'm not suggesting that we should close down schools for a semester, but until we're relatively sure that we've had a flattening of the curve, as they say, and a leveling of infection, I think it's safest and best for us to stay in remote. Going back and forth will be very confusing for everybody.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Gibson. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Hidon. Any more questions?
And I
That will
want
bring us to
I want to thank all the staff for getting on.
Oh.
People gave up an hour plus of their time. Thank you.
Absolutely. This brings us to the announcement of meetings. As allowed by the Open Meeting Act and District Open Meetings Resolution, on occasion, a quorum of board members attend the same function, including those held at school sites, at the district level, as well as sports functions, conferences, workshops, and trainings. Board members will refrain from discussing and/or acting on board issues in those settings. In addition, only official meetings are published, and if other meetings are scheduled, they will be announced in accordance with the Open Meetings Act. I'd like to announce the following meetings. The location of these meetings will be dependent on CDC mandates. If needed, the meetings will be held via Zoom. On August 18th, 2020 at 6 p.m., there will be a regular board meeting via Zoom. On August 19th, 2020, there will be an audit committee meeting at 9 a.m. Attendance is by invitation only, and that will be via Zoom. All the meetings that we have will be dependent on mandates from the governor. That brings us to item number 8, closed executive session. Closed session for non-public exit conference with REDW, specifically presentation of draft report on investigation/audit by REDW to the board as a whole pursuant to section 12-6-5A of the New Mexico State Audit Act. I would stand for a motion regarding item number 7. Please read the entire closed executive session statement.
Mr. President?
Mr. Hidon.
At this time, I move that we go in executive session. In reference to what you just read, I don't have my packet with me, but on the REW stuff. So if you could go ahead and just repeat that, it's going to be what you just read.
I have a motion by Mr. Hidon for the board to go in closed session for non-public exit conference with REDW, specifically presentation of draft report on investigation audit by REDW to the board as a whole pursuant to section 12-6-5A of the New Mexico State Audit Act. I will stand for a second.
I'll second. I'll second.
I have a second by Mr. Stephen Otero. Mr. Vickers, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Frank Otero, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Stephen Otero, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Hidon, how do you vote? Did Mr. Hidon go to executive session already?
Yeah.
Yes. I thought you left me. And I vote yes. The time is now 7:29. The board is now in executive session.
Make a motion, we'll go back into regular session.
A motion by Mr. Stephen Otero to go back into regular session. I'll stand for a second.
Second.
I have a second by Mr. Hidon. Mr. Vickers, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Frank Otero, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Stephen Otero, how do you vote?
Yes.
Hidon, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes. The board is back in session at 8:02 p.m. The board went into closed executive session for a non-public exit conference with RDW, specifically presentation of a draft report. Yes, ma'am.
Hold on a second. Okay, I think they got you back up. I'm not sure how much they heard. I hope they got you.
We heard it all, I think, Karen.
Okay.
So I had a motion by Mr. Stephen Otero to go back into regular session. I had a second by Mr. Eloy Hidon. All board members voted to go back into regular session. The board is now back in regular session. We went back into regular session at 8 o'clock or 7:59. The board was in closed executive session for a non-public exit conference with REDW, specifically presentation of a draft report on investigation/audit by REDW to the board as a whole pursuant to section 12-6-5A of the New Mexico State Audit Act. No other items were discussed, nor was any action taken during the closed session. I move this to item number 9. I'll stand for a motion on item number 9, approval of referral of the REW draft report to the state auditor's office.
I make a motion that we approve the referral to the state auditor's office by REDW.
Thank you, Mr. Otero. Mr. Otero, I have a motion by Mr. Stephen Otero to approve the referral of the REDW draft report to the state auditor's office. I'll stand for a second.
Second.
I have a second by Mr. Hidon. Mr. Vickers, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Mr. Frank Otero, how do you vote?
Yes.
Stephen Otero, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Item number 9 passes. Brings us to item number 10, adjournment. I will stand for a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn, Mr. President.
A motion by Mr. Vickers to adjourn. I'll stand for a second.
A second.
A second by Mr. Stephen Otero. Mr. Vickers, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Frank Otero, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Stephen Otero, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Hidon, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes. The meeting is adjourned at 8:04 p.m. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.